Nicole McDuff. On retourne à Guy Daou.
Merci. Et puis, donc, asymétrique, elle a d'ailleurs dominé 3 des appareils. Première place au cheval sautoir, au bar parallèle et à la poutre. C'était excellent de sa part. Donc, médaille d'or pour elle, Stella Yume. C'est une Australienne, Rebecca Stoyle, qui termine deuxième. Zita Lusak, une Anglaise, obtient la médaille de bronze. C'est donc la deuxième médaille pour Stella Yume à ces Jeux. Avec les concours individuels demain aux appareils, on peut s'attendre à ce qu'elle obtienne encore une fois des médailles. Elle pourrait même atteindre un total de 6 médailles d'ici la fin des Jeux. C'est assez exceptionnel. Et ce ne serait pas étonnant à ce moment qu'elle mérite le titre et qu'elle le mérite très bien d'ailleurs de reine des Jeux de Victoria. Mais puisqu'il est question de reine des Jeux, ben Jean, vous avez la chance d'être en compagnie de celle de Lillehammer, je crois.
Oui, c'est la reine des Jeux de Lillehammer qui est avec nous.
Je trouvais qu'elle était un peu au-dessus. Donc aujourd'hui, ça ne me surprend pas qu'elle ait gagné. Si elle a aussi bien fait qu'hier, c'est pas surprenant.
Vous aimez ça, la gymnastique?
Oui, beaucoup.
Vous aimez le tennis aussi, Myriam?
Oui, mais...
On a regardé ensemble tout à l'heure la fin du match. C'était une fin enlevante. Écoutez, ça a pris 7h45 à jouer ce match-là. Je ne sais pas si c'est un record. Et on l'a regardé ensemble et c'était intéressant.
Mais moi, je peux...
Gymnastics where gold prospect enlightens Joanna Hughes. Australia's shining star, she is still reaching for a greater prize, one that glitters gold. For Stella Ume, this moment is a mission, and in it she's found a new maturity, a stronger confidence, the greatest goal of all, to finish as the champion. Victoria's historic hockey arena has been transformed into a venue for artistic gymnastics. Canadian Stella Ume goes for a second gold medal in front of a partisan crowd. Hi everybody and welcome back to Memorial Arena. Scott Russell as always joined by Alfie Schlegel. Interesting story developing, Alfie. Joanna Hughes of Australia has pulled out of this competition because of an injury.
Devastating for the Aussies, as I'm sure for Joanna. You know, she has had the worst luck when it comes to injuries. The reason why she's out of today's competition is because of an old elbow injury. It actually kept her out of the '92 Barcelona Olympics, and of course we remember the ankle injury that she suffered in Australia in Brisbane at the World Championships. But a big chance for Sally Wills, her replacement, just 14 years old. Who knows, perhaps she can make a name for herself today.
Alfie, quickly, a big chance for Stella Ume. These games are her swan song. She wants this all-around title.
We all know that she started her international career 4 years ago. She'd like to end it on a high note. She has all the talent in the world to make that dream come true. It won't be the last time we're seeing Stella. She's in all-event finals tomorrow, but today's the day that really counts for her.
She is a Canadian superstar. Stella's story continues here at Memorial Arena. To what she hopes will be an all-around gold medal at these 1994 Victoria Commonwealth Games. Onto the beam and on safely up.
And off to a great start, Scott. This is not an easy event to start with, and this is a big test for Stella right here. Combination tumbling that takes the entire length of the beam. Fabulous, fabulous skill. I really believe if Stella hits this routine, this will set the pace for the rest of the events. This will give her the confidence, the boost that she needs to win the gold medal. Of course, when the pressure was on in the team competition, this kid came through and in a big way. One of the best routines that I've ever seen from Stella. A new move that she's added, she is going after it all. Cartwheel layout, she could have easily taken that out for today's event. She looks good.
Tremendous concentration. Crowd of about 4,000 at Memorial Arena. That beam is only 4 inches wide.
She's not holding back at all. I like to see this in Stella. Sometimes she tends to get a little cautious. She questions her moves. She's working at a good pace. So far, all the difficult tricks are out of the way. All that's left is the dismount, a very simple move for Stella. Double back. There it is, 1, 2. Oh, a little bit short on her landing. Not over till it's over, Stella, but a great routine, Scott. That will score well.
Solid beginning for 19-year-old Stella Ume of Mississauga, Ontario.
And again, another look at the dismount. Plenty of height. She just opened up a little bit too soon. She should have hung on a tad bit longer, but nevertheless, that's a tough routine to beat.
Now she must wait for the judges' decision on her beginning. The mark on the beam, oh so crucial to her chances to become the Commonwealth Games gold medalist in the all-around competition. 9 4.75, and that is a solid start indeed for Stella. Now Stella's teammate Lisa Symes, originally from Regina, Saskatchewan. Unexpected that she made this Commonwealth Games team in a way, Alfie, but has performed well and looked good in the team competition.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people were surprised that Lisa made the team, but she has done the job with the exception of a fall on the uneven bars off her dismount. She had the unenviable task of starting things off for the team on balance beam in the team competition, and she hit her routine as she has so far, a front summy mount to begin things with. She's good. When she's on, she is very good. Big trick right here, front summy, slight balance check.
The only one of the 4 Canadian team members who does not compete for Gymnastics Mississauga. She's a member of the Winstonettes. Her coach, Debbie Vidmar, is here in Victoria.
So many times on the simple skills, you can lose your concentration. Very uncharacteristic for Lisa to have a balance check on a very simple jump. As I said, so far the big skills are out of the way. Nice combination of leaps for gymnastics series. This has been her nemesis in the past. This is a huge improvement for Lisa. Just the dismount. Same as Stella's, double back, couple of steps back. Overall, it's a solid start.
She had the arena to herself. No other athletes were up on any other apparatus. Lisa Symes completes the beam routine, one of the most difficult parts of her day, to be sure. This is Jackie Brady of England, the English anchor on the vault.
Very powerful on this event, and this is a vault that is out of a 9.8. Lots of height. Remember, both vaults count in the women's all-around competition. It's an average. Front summy with a half twist. And just one step on her landing. Here we can take a look at a bit of a split position on the horse, but the judges don't have that vantage point.
Jackie helped nail down team gold for England as they defeated Canada. 5 gold medals for Jackie at the British Championships. A 9.45 is her average on the vault. There's a look at Lisa Symes of Canada. Another look at her beam routine.
And another look at her dismount, the round off onto the beam. Nice tight double back summy, but you can see she opened up late, had some over rotation which forced her to take a couple steps. And in all-around competition, you want to get away from that. You want to try to stick your landings. And there's the start value at 9.9, the maximum that she can score on this event.
Still awaiting the result. Along with her teammate Stella Ume, 9.3 for Lisa Symes. So the Canadians, Stella Ume and Lisa Symes, off to a fairly strong start in the all-around competition.
About 8:45 here on the West Coast. Look at that crowd around the stage in front of the BC Legislature. Colin James coming up as we go back to gymnastics.
Currently in 12th position after one rotation, 15-year-old Jamie Hill of Canada. 9.237 was her average of 2 vaults. Now getting set for the uneven bars. Chalking up. Has to make up some ground now, Alfie.
Yeah, she had a fall on one of her vaults, which didn't help in her average. This is a good event for Jamie. She has a great combination of release skills, plus a very difficult dismount. You'll see Coach Alex Bard step in behind to assist her. He won't touch her. There's her first Tkachev. As she moves down to the low bar. Most of the women in today's competition, the top class on the uneven bars, will be doing at least 2 release skills. There's Jamie's second, the same skill as the first, and her dismount is huge. She needs everything to get over twice with a half twist. pump her up just a little bit.
Tell you what, she was disappointed with her vault result. Has to be happy with that. Both release skills completed perfectly.
Very nice, and this was the end of her routine. A very difficult dismount, a double front with a half twist. It's one of the highest degrees of difficulty of dismounts. It's an E element, which is the toughest move you can do on women's uneven bars. Very few dismounts that have that lettering E.
At receiving her there, her coach Alex Bard, head coach of the Canadian team, also her club coach with Gymnastics Mississauga, Stella Ume, her teammate here along with Lisa Symes. And now onto the floor in Australia's Rebecca Stoyle.
Strong effort by Rebecca. You know, it's a shame that Joanna Hughes is out of the competition. She usually is one of their top athletes on this exercise, but this was one of the best routines I've seen from Rebecca. Her final tumbling pass through to a double twist. She opened very strongly, by the way, with a full twisting double back. Not many performing that skill in this competition.
Just 15 years old, the national junior champion in Australia in 1992. There is the score for Jamie Hill of Canada, a 9-5 on the uneven bars, and so a great recovery after a disappointing couple of vaults. And now we move to Sally Willis, replacement for Joanna Hughes at the last moment at 14. Sally Willis, the youngest competitor in this field.
As I said, a chance for her to make a name for herself. First vault at 9.35. Now what she's performing is a handspring front summy in a tuck position. Her weakest event is only out of a 9.7, so she has to try to stick the landing, which there she took one step. Not a very difficult vault. There's the handspring approach to the front summy, one step to the side. And as I said, the most that she can receive on this event is a 9.7. Good distance, but a little extra over rotation.
Sally was in third position after the first rotation and just enjoying her chance to be here in the all-around final. 9.425 for that second vault for an average of 9.387. Now to the floor exercise and the charismatic Stella Ume.
view, Scott, from the team competition. I was going to say the first two passes were strong, typical Stella style, but that last tumbling pass has been giving her problems all week, including the team competition right there, the full twist. She was supposed to connect it into another rebounder move. She didn't do it. I'm a little worried as far as how much the judges are going to take off for that.
There's the result of 9.525. That ankle attended to by Coach Alex Bart. Everything seems to be okay. 9.525 to go along with a 9.475 on the beam. Stella may be leaving herself open to a challenge in this all-around competition. And we're hoping that everything's okay with that ankle. Of course, the stress fracture caused her to miss the World Championships in Brisbane. Now a look at Sonia Lawrence of Wales. 9.6 on the floor, now on the ball.
Big surprise. This kid was leading after the floor exercise, but she's very strong, as we said, a specialist on the floor, and a strong vaulter, too. Now, this vault, the front handspring height, is out of a 9.8. There's the front handspring approach. She performs the front summy on the backside in a pike position. You can see here just how much distance she travels. Opened up just a tad bit too late, which forced a little over-rotation.
9.45, 9.475 for an average of 9.462. After two rotations, that's the way things stand. A surprise. Sonia Lawrence in first place, but not by much. Stella Ume is chasing in second.
Thank you, Scott, and you're looking live.
Welcome back to Memorial Arena. Third rotation now in the women's all-around competition. Rebecca Stoyle of Australia in third position, her first vault.
Definitely in the hunt. If there was a weak event for Rebecca, it's vault. All the Aussies actually have very low scoring vaults. They're out of 9.7 with that front handspring front summy. Again, she has to be neat, clean, try to stick the landing, do everything she possibly can to max out on a 9.7, and a small step, that's the improvement she can make on her second vault. She gets good distance, covers great distance actually from the horse, and the small step, that's the improvement that she'll hope for on the second one.
This Australian team is very young. Rebecca Stoyle only 15 years old. National junior champion in 1992. There's the result for the first vault, 9.375. Remember now, a second vault to come. Both scores count because there is an average taken.
And that's the difficulty in the all-around competition. You see the 9.7 there. That indicates the start value of this vault. As I said, the difficulty is the pressure to land both vaults, the average of both scores.
We first saw Rebecca in international competition at the Brisbane World Championships in April. Now a key player at the Commonwealth Games.
An improvement. Overall, a much better looking second vault. Slightly better on the landing. I think she even covered greater distance off the horse. The same second vault, handspring front in a tucked position. It's a blind landing. You have to know exactly where you are in the air. The right time to open up right there, look for the landing. And she takes just a small hop.
Waiting for that second result now is Rebecca Stoyle, and there it is, 9.45, an improvement. 9.412 is the average on the vault for the Australian. And chalking up in the background there is Canada's Stella Ume. In an unfamiliar position, really, at these Commonwealth Games. Stella is in second position at the outset of this third rotation. In first place is Sonia Lawrence of Wales, but only slightly over Stella. Stella still has two good apparatus to come.
This being one of them. It's so close, as you said, Scott, and of course she needs to stand up on both vaults. Beautifully executed. Fantastic.
Roar of the crowd indicates their approval. Coach Alex Bart is happy.
Doesn't she make this look so easy? Yurchenko in a laid out position, full twist point. Gets so much height. She's so clean in the air. This vault is out of a 9.8. Perfect timing on and off the horse, and I guess if there's going to be an improvement, she can try to stick that landing.
And what you have to like about Stella is there's no question about her dismount. She nails it. She just pounds it into the mat. And really looks like she's ready to compete here today. Faced with coming from behind, unexpectedly, as we said, to Sonia Lawrence of Wales. She'll await that first score, and then she'll be off on her second vault. Critical vault here for Stella. It has to count. The average of the two, oh so very important.
There you see the 9-8. That is not the vault score. That's the value of this vault. She'll be doing the same second vault.
There's the score, 9.625. Very impressive result. What she'd like to do now is put two back-to-back.
And Scott, really room for improvement. If she nails the vault, they can give her as high as 9.7, 9.75. I've seen it done before.
Gets the green light at the end of the runway. Time to take off.
Lovely! You can bet Alex said, Stella, stick it. And she did.
No little steps that time. Stella just drove it right into the mat.
I'll be surprised if they don't give this a 9.7. That's as good as it gets. Look at perfect position in the air. Doesn't even move. Doesn't budge on that landing. Perfect.
What a change in her demeanor. Last year we saw her, she was laughing, joking. Right now, very, very focused on this Commonwealth Games championship. 9.725, Elke, you called it, for an average of 9.675. Outstanding result for Stella Ume on the vault. Now we'll move to the uneven bars. And the Australian competitor, this is Sally Wills, 14 years old, a last-minute replacement for Joanna Hughes.
Last-minute replacement, that's tough to do. They just announced the replacement in the warm-up. That really can play games on your mind, but they're well prepared. She can do all her routine. She just competed the other day in the team competition, and that's something we need to mention is the women just competed yesterday. That's tough on the body, a lot of pressure in that team competition, and then to have to go through it all over again today. Beautiful Tkachev, lots of height over that high bar. She looks pretty up there. Long lines, nice handstand work, stretching every move right to the top. Key dismount, however, double front.
And she holds on to it. Sally was in fourth position at the halfway point after two rotations. And this will be important to her medal hopes.
Really pretty bar worker. Of course, all the Australians are. Double front summy, blind landing. You don't know where you are until the feet touch the ground. Perfect timing.
Young Sally Wills of Australia. And now to the vault. Lisa Symes of Canada on her first vault, a 9.5.
This is one of her best events. Very powerful. Wow. Out of the sky. That's a beautiful looking vault. It's out of a 9.8, and as the first vault, 9.5. Typically, if you do well on the second, the scores should go up. That was nice. Very tight in her tucked position, but look at the height she gets off the horse. There's a front handspring approach, cranks a half twist, a very solid landing.
Lisa had a little bit of trouble with her floor exercise, but has come back with two strong vaults here and is putting herself right back in the thick of things in the all-around competition. Lisa Symes of Regina, Saskatchewan. On the uneven bars now, Sonia Lawrence of Wales, the leader after two rotations.
Nice start, Scott. Big release, Skilla Ginger. Only one, I have to point out, the top bar workers will be performing two. Just her dismount, double pike. Had trouble in the warm-up, but boy, she's hot. This kid is on a roll. Nice looking routine. Not quite sure it had all the difficulty that she'll need for a top score, but ends things off very strongly with a double pike. Incidentally, she had trouble with that in the warm-up. That just shows you how well trained this kid is, how focused she is.
There's the result for Lisa Symes on the vault. 9.525 the average, a great score. Currently in 5th position. And for Sonia Lawrence, a 9.1, which pushes her way back in the standings. Stella Ume has the lead. Rebecca Stoyle and Sally Wills of Australia follow. Still, it is very close with 1 rotation left. Welcome back to Memorial Arena. The crowd partisan, and they are on the side of Stella Ume. 1 rotation left in this women's all-around competition. Scott Russell along with Elfie Schlegel. And Elfie on the line is Commonwealth Games gold for Stella Ume. She has the lead, but only slightly over Rebecca Stoyle of Australia. As a matter of fact, it's .338, and Stoyle is a master of the bars.
Look at those eyes. Last sigh of, here goes, the last time up. Huge support for Stella here. This is a good event for her. 2 release skills. First one coming up right here. 2 giant fulls into her Tkachev.
First one complete.
One of the events that has hugely improved for Stella. See, Alex Bard will step in behind for her second Tkachev. Right there.
She's got it.
She's solid. Now just her dismount, Scott. Everybody, all eyes are on Stella. Double twist. Wow! Nailed the dismount.
Drove it right into the mat. And the crowd erupts here at Memorial Arena. Stella Ume may have just secured Commonwealth Games gold.
It's too early to tell, but that's the best job that she could do in this routine. Fantastic. There's her giant full. Into her Tkachev, lots of height, absolutely beautiful release skill, in which she did 2 in this routine. And then her dismount, she had trouble on this at the National Championships, if you remember. Obviously made huge improvements, nailed it. Doesn't get any better than that. That's a great performance. What a relief.
Now awaits the result and the performance of Rebecca Stoyle, who is also on the uneven bars.
And just quickly, the start value on that routine should be from a perfect 10, and yes it is. I can see off the corner of my eye, there it goes. Perfect 10, so not giving anything away. The execution was excellent, Scott. I'm not quite sure what they're going to take off for that routine. She did her job.
The difference between Ume and Stoyle after 3 rotations was .338. So Estella's score is as strong as we think it's going to be. There's the first indication from the crowd. There's the score, 9.725 for a total of 38.4 for Stella Ume.
Her mother's going crazy. Patsy's in the audience. Well deserved.
She thinks she's the champion, and well, she should. What a performance. There is Sally Wills of Australia in 3rd position after 3 rotations. And she will head up onto the beam. Now she has an outside shot to catch Stella Ume, but she would have to be nearly perfect, Elfie.
Big challenge for this young lady. Boy, coming in as a replacement. But she's focused. She's done well in this competition. Just 14 years old, hard to believe. And a tough event to end your competition on. Big test right off the top, a blind front summy, a little bit of a check there. She should go into a second front summy on the beam, a very popular move on balance beam today.
I can't believe the concentration. 4,000 plus fans in this arena. Other routines are going on, there's music, and she's staying on this beam.
That's the experience and the training. It all comes from the training. They deal with a lot of distractions in the training gym, blasting music, coaches yelling at you. This is what they're trained to do. They have to focus in. One of the toughest events in both men's and women's gymnastics.
A reminder that Canada's Stella Ume, 9.725 on the bar. She's in the clubhouse at 38.4. That is the score to beat.
And all she can do is just sit back and wait. It's safe to say this is not going to be competitive with Stella. There are some flaws in this routine. She hasn't fallen off the apparatus, but there have been some major balance breaks. Just her dismount left. Double back summy and a big break on the landing.
A lot of savvy shown on the part of Sally Wills, last-minute replacement for the Australian team today in the all-around competition, taking the place of Joanna Hughes, pulled out with an elbow injury.
You know, Scott, it used to be a fall that would absolutely take you out of the competition, but gymnastics has become so critical. Now it's just down to a bent knee, an unpointed toe. Very little that separate the top athletes, and a huge error here. Misjudged her dismount, forced her to land short. Slight deduction there.
14 years old, accompanied by her coach, Ju Ping. She trains at the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra. And Australians making great strides. There's her result on the beam at 9.2 for a total of 37.387. Stella Ume, remember, a 38.4 has the lead. But could it be a medal today for the replacement, Sally Wills of Australia? This will be the last effort of 15-year-old Rebecca Stoyle, a native of South Australia. She is in medal position, but which color she won't know until the end of this uneven bars routine. Stella Ume of Canada nailed this routine to put herself in the driver's seat for the gold medal.
And I'd say this is Rebecca's event. She has two very nice looking release moves. She just performed one. Look at that second one. Beautiful height. Got a little hung up there on the low bar. Two nice release moves and a big dismount double front.
Tell you what, she's going to make it close for Stella Ume. Stella's score a 9.725. Rebecca Stoyle has nailed it.
Beautiful routine, well executed. Look at this release skill. Sky high as she moves down to the low bar. Perfect form, perfect execution. And then her dismount, working out of a front giant into a double front. 1, 2, opens up, blind landing. Well trained.
Stella Ume of Canada now packing up her bags and awaiting the score of Rebecca Stoyle to determine whether or not she is the gold medal champion here at the Commonwealth Games. This is what she came to Victoria to do. She wanted to go out on a winning note. Her international competitive career will end after these Commonwealth Games. She'll be going to the University of California at Los Angeles next year. There's the score for Rebecca Stoyle at 9.7 for a total of 38.037, which means that Stella Ume is the Commonwealth Games gold medal champion. Stella Ume in first place. Rebecca Stoyle takes the silver. Zita Lusak of England the bronze. But the champion today is Stella.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'hymne de la victoire.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory anthem of Canada.
for women's individual all-around event.
Very proud and touching moment, not only for Stella Ume, but for her entire family. And very quickly, let's return to gymnastics and our gold medalist in that sport.
Well, it's time to meet the Commonwealth Games gold medal champion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Stella. Listen, they gave you a standing O here at Memorial Arena. What's it like in the immediate afterglow?
Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I never cry, and I was bawling up there.
What did it feel like when you were out there on the floor? I know your mom and dad were here, your sister was here. You seemed empowered by them.
They give me so much. They've given me my entire life. I mean, you know, thanks to my mom and everything, but for 13 years they've been behind me every step of the way, and it's just, this is my way of giving them back what they gave to me.
It seemed as though you were on a mission the whole way through. Every routine, you nailed the dismount and you pounded it into the floor. Did you know this was going to be the end result?
No, I had no idea. I just went out there and I wanted to do 2 clean days in a row because I've never done that before. So I wanted to do it and I did it, and I'm really psyched about that.
What about Auckland? You look back now, 4 years ago, you were a last-minute sub, and now you're the queen of gymnastics.
Oh, it's amazing. I burst onto the scene at Auckland and now I'm staying by.
Well, it's 3 in a row for Canada. 1978, Alfie Schlegel. 1990, Laurie Strong. And in 1994 at Victoria, this woman, Stella Ume.
The whole world. Schlegel.
In this case, the numbers add up. The sum equals Stella. 4 event finals. 4 more chances to shine. If the recent past foreshadows the future,